Hello there, welcome back to ChrisoRaptor TV. Today is the time for Dino Facts Part 3, and we're covering the Ankylosaurus. Sorry for not uploading for a while, I was busy with exams at school, but now that the summer holidays are coming, you can expect more frequent uploads. Let's go. The first question that we need to answer is when did the Ankylosaurus live? The Ankylosaurus was actually one of the last non-avian dinosaurs to live on planet Earth, as it lived between 68 and 66 million years ago, which means that today we're time traveling to the very end of the Cretaceous period. The second question is not about when, but where. The Ankylosaurus lived in North America, specifically the USA, as well as Alberta, Canada, and it favored subtropical and temperate climates. Now about the size and weight. An average Ankylosaurus weighed between 4.5 and 8 tons and was roughly the size of a tank. And it was not only tank like in size, but also in appearance with its armor. This armor served a purpose, but I won't say it right away because it's time for a quiz. An Ankylosaurus was tank like because A, it was a tank, B, it looked cool, C, it had to protect itself against predators, and D, it tried surviving a mass extinction. I'll give you some time to select your answer. All right, time's up. The correct answer was C. It had to protect itself against predators. Even though it definitely did want to survive the mass extinction, that's not what the armor is for. So the correct answer was C. And now let's get into more detail about it. You see, the Ankylosaurus lived in a time with several dangerous predators, most notably the T Rex, who had the strongest bite of any dinosaur. So naturally, the Ankylosaurus evolved some kind of defense against it, and this is where the armor comes in, and it is strong enough to withstand this bite. However, the Ankylosaurus can go into offense if threatened, and that is where his club comes in handy, as this hardened club was used by the Ankylosaurus to whack its enemies, and it was hard enough to break the bones of a T Rex. So from this standpoint, it's probably the Ankylosaur who deserved the title of the king of the dinosaurs. Additionally, our newly crowned king's name stems from this armor, as Ankylosaurus means fused lizard, and this name refers to the fused bony plates that form the armor. Here is a plushie of mine, and while you might think that this is an Ankylosaurus, I thought so initially, after doing some digging, it turned out to actually be a Uoplocephalus. I know, dinosaur names are hard. But basically, this is a relative of the Ankylosaurus, and the Uoplocephalus, whom you are seeing here, lived across the USA as well as in Canada. So let's get a better look at our um, at our fuzzy friend, and don't ask why he's missing an eye. Actually, it's of old age. And here you can see the club. Also, in case you're wondering what a squirrel is doing here, then I'm just gonna say I have no idea. As squirrels evolved around 50 to 36 million years ago, way after the dinosaurs went extinct, so I'm not really sure what the squirrel is doing here. Maybe it's just watching the video early, maybe it's waiting to get some food, or maybe it's spying on us. I don't know. However, even for such living tanks as ankylosaurs, there are limits, as its belly is the weak point because it is the only part of his body not covered by the thick armor, and it is assumed that maybe the T-Rexes would have tried to flip the ankylosaur on its back in order to reveal the belly where it could easily strike. Coming back to our friend Uo, yes, I named him that, it's just a shortened version of Uoplocephalus. He too, much like the Ankylosaur, has a weak point. Has a weak point, that being his belly, which is the only part of his body that isn't covered by thick armor. I'm here at the seaside to wish you all happy summer holidays, but unfortunately I'll have to leave this place because our herbivorous friend wants to eat in peace. Yes, the Ankylosaurus, despite their dangerous appearance, is a herbivore. Anyway, I'm out of here because I don't want to get whacked by the Ankylosaur. Wait, don't hit the time machine! Oh great, now I've ended up in the future in the year 2125. Well, I guess that sometimes happens when you time travel. Anyway, I'll have to find a way out of here, and thanks for watching. Bye!